paranormal experience. I once stayed with my best friend at his grandparents' house while the grandparents were visiting their other property for 6 months. At the time, we were two 20-year-old men who were happy to get this huge house to ourselves rent-free. The house itself was super old and creepy, especially at night. The grandparents had separate bedrooms as they had been together for over 50 years and enjoyed having their own space. The grandma's bedroom was downstairs, while the grandpa's room was upstairs on the other corner of the house. I stayed downstairs in the grandma's room and my friend stayed in the grandpa's room. The grandma's room was at the end of a creepy hallway and had dolls all over the room. I noticed the doorknob to my room would creak when I turned it, important for later. Anyways, we stayed here for a few days with no issues. We would lock all the doors before going to bed and noticed nothing out of the ordinary. One night, I'm in bed on my phone, then decided I'm ready to sleep. It's a summer night and pretty hot out, so I was trying to sleep out of the sheets on my stomach. In hindsight, it's a pretty vulnerable position. I suddenly hear the doorknob get grabbed and creak as if someone is trying to open the door. I told myself it was probably just the knob releasing and nothing to worry about. But then I flip over and listen. I heard footsteps walking down the hallway and into the kitchen. From there, I heard banging and loud noises. It was so loud I assumed it had to be my friend. But after a few minutes, I wondered what he was doing. I called his phone, and when he picked up, I could tell he was dead asleep. He had just woken up and just said, "What's up?" I could hear it in his voice. He was obviously upstairs asleep. I told him someone was in the house. We both creeped out of our rooms and checked the house. We found nothing. At this point, I was freaked out because I knew that something was there. His grandpa's room has 2 beds in the room, so I went up to sleep in there. After getting set up there and laying down for 5 minutes, I said, "We have to check the house again. I know someone is in here." We again went back downstairs. This time I looked down the hallway to the grandma's room and saw the door was shut. I went up to it and it was locked. My friend called me back over when he saw the back door was wide open. We got the grandma's door unlocked and nothing was touched or out of place. It couldn't have been a draft that closed it. I tested it out. You had to push the door hard to get it to shut. The carpet touched the bottom of the door and would prevent it from shutting. For the next few months, I was terrified of that place. I slept with the fan on high every night, even when it got cold, just so I didn't hear any sounds. I've wondered for years how that happened and searched for a reasonable explanation. A few weeks ago, I saw a movie about these people who live in houses without the owners knowing. Maybe people heard the grandparents were leaving for 6 months and wanted to squat there. Maybe someone else was living there without us knowing for days. It seems unlikely, but it's a possibility. I don't think it was an animal. There were no signs of an animal, and we never saw any during that 6-month period. It all started with something grabbing the doorknob to the grandma's room. I believe it was paranormal. In the moment, I had no doubt that was paranormal.